welcome back to the channel. So I've booked myself in for a test drive. I've picked the Renault Zoe to test drive because it ticks every single box, and so far, looking at other reviews, it's the one which got sort of the better range and there's some good deals on it. So I've decided that it's worth literally going down and actually trying the car out. So I've managed to get an extended test drive where they put me on their insurance and I get to take it for basically the morning, afternoon. So I'm pretty excited about that. So I'm going to jump literally straight onto the test drive and let's see what you guys think. Thanks for watching. Finally, I've got myself a test drive in an electric car, and I was lucky and I got an extended test drive, what the local Renault dealer managed to sort of arrange for me to do, so I could drive all the way to work and all the way back and give the car a proper test to make sure I'm happy with it. But here we have the Renault Zoe, and it's a cracking little car. It looks really, really good. So I've covered probably about something like, I don't know now, nearly 90 miles because I've come the long way home, and I want to make sure I do at least 100 miles in it, and it's probably going to be that back to the dealers from here, and it's done really, really well. It started with 126 and we've got the 72 left. The inside of the car is quite a nice looking car. It's got sat nav built into it as well. You can see the flow of the car when you're driving along, and it tells you all that kind of information. Interior feels pretty good as well. It's got some clever things that come with it. Obviously it's got the door handle. You've seen a lot of this in probably previous reviews as well. But for kids there's actually ample space. But yeah, I'm pretty impressed with it. It's been a nice car to drive, to the point where I really, really do like it. So I'm going to go and discuss with the dealership about prices. But we've got the charging flaps underneath the Renault badge just here, and you can undo that in the car or using the keys. You can preheat it. There's an app for it as well. That means you can check your charging. You can put your heating on before you get into the car's the right climate. Yeah, it's really, really, really nice. Pretty impressed with it. The funny thing is though, they'd registered the car yesterday, so it's brand spanking new car, so I was lucky to get my hands on it. But the number plate they've actually screwed in, they've drilled too big holes, and it actually fell off after about 30-40 miles and made a horrible noise. So I've had to actually get out and take off the front number plate. So that's a little bit disappointing, but the actual car itself is really nice. It's a really different experience and I'm really excited. So yeah, now I'm going to go back to the dealers and have a chat with him and see where we can go from there. But that's the Renault Zoe, first test drive, done. So driving the Renault Zoe is quite an interesting experience, and you'll hear lots of people say the same thing. It's very quiet and it's a bit eerie because when you pull up to a junction, you feel like you've automatically go, I've stalled it, and it just obviously glides away. So we picked it up from the dealership with 126 miles in it, and we're roughly doing about 88 miles. Like a journey to test if I can get to work or on sort of back. And because of the hills through the country and the regenerative braking, there's going to be it's going to be a lot less than it says, as in it's used. So for instance, in theory I should have, by the time I get back, say 30 miles left, there's more likely going to be like 45-50, because the regenerative braking seems really good. It's smooth. As soon as you let go, you can feel it, but not drastically, and it does put the miles back in. So it's been pretty impressive. The dash and everything, I really like it. It's another thing is that it just drives like a car, and I know it is a car, but you kind of expect an electric vehicle to be different, but it's not really different. It is just a car. It's just quieter. You still get the wind noise and everything else. It's not like you're sitting there going, oh, it's just no noise at all. It's good, and it's got obviously the sat nav and things built in it, and it will tell you if you're going to go out of range, and does all those clever things. But yeah, I was very lucky because their test drives are normally 15 minutes or so, and I've managed to talk to the salesman who's let me have this drive, because if you're going to spend this kind of money on a car, you want to know you can get where you want to get to and back. And I am really impressed to the point where I actually want to order one. And I've only test driven this. I've not test driven the Nissan or the Hyundai, but this is by far on paper the best car for me because of range, sheerly because of range. And the quality of the cab, I mean, it's plasticky, but it's premium feel. People moan about the steering wheel and things. Again, it feels like leather and it drives nice, and I haven't got no issues with the car whatsoever at all. It's been really pleasurable to drive. Acceleration, it pulls off as quick, if not quicker, than my Kia Rio. And even at high speeds, I haven't struggled to keep up with traffic or had any issues at all with power and putting onto the dual carriageways and off the dual carriageways. No issues. So it ticks every single box. So I'm going to go back to the dealer and I'm going to see what deal I can come up with and what price I can come up with, because being the 40 and they're bringing out the Zoe 50, there's some good deals on this car. So fingers crossed, if I can get a cracking deal on this, I'll buy this. If not, I might wait for the 50 or buy a different one yet. But the test drive goes is pretty damn good. I'm enjoying this. Okay, so I finished the test drive, and again the car did amazingly well, and I got back and I think it had about 50 something miles on, and I did like probably about 100 miles and it wasn't even fully charged, and I've said this a couple of times. So I went back in, I was really impressed with it, spoke to the salesman. Now I was going to look at buying I should say, the iDynamic, and chatting to him, they're out of stock and it'd have to be a factory order and it'd be rough delivery time would be September. But he came back with quite a good offer, and he came back with the S edition. It's like the superior one with leather seats, Bose sound system, reversing cameras. Now it's a little bit more than I sort of initially had in sort of my mind, and obviously I wanted to test drive a couple more cars, but I really like the Zoe. It just felt good, and thinking about having it a bit more like leather seats and Bose sound system makes it even better. So I kind of did that thing of going, I'll have it. So it's ordered. I've got one coming. I'm trying to deal with Chargemaster at the moment and waiting for a phone call back from them because Renault paid for the box to be put in via Chargemaster. So I'm filling the application and waiting for them to get back to me about installing a box. I own a private driveway and own my own house detached, so I shouldn't have any issues there. But we'll wait and see, because the dealer was very unclear about how that system actually works, other than here's a contact number. He's given me a registration for my car already. He's phoned me up with that and like a number that I need. So hopefully that will all go really well. Expected delivery of the car is within 2 weeks. He's already told me just over a week is the actual delivery into the dealership. So then it's just the pre-reg stuff that they have to do until I get it. So pretty much watch this space in this channel and we will go through picking the car up, what it's like to charge, what obviously CarMaster would like to install a box. I've ordered what they call a granny charger, that's like a 3 kilowatt or whatever it is charger, so we can see what it's like charging on that. We've obviously got the daily commute and how will it cope. Now obviously the test car was virtually brand new, so it was a day old, so that was, so hopefully we'll see how that happens over time, what it's like charging up at things like the train station and things like that, and we'll see how we'll have some fun with the car. My future plan is as well do a few challenges. We'll do some routes. We'll see if we can go to like Wales on it and see how well we get on. But generally, the overall commuting, how the car handles over time, and the top model. So let's see how nice this top model is. I've only driven like the standard, so to go to the top's going to be quite interesting. So yeah, if you would do me a favour and subscribe and like, and we'll come up with some wacky ideas to do with the car and see how it come out like does as an actual proper commuter's car. So yeah, keep tuned, and we'll see you in the next few episodes. Take care.